Hello and welcome to video 3, week 1 of Microsoft Excel Skills for Farmers, brought to you by Local Land Services Central West and produced by AgriFocused. I'm Carmen Quaid. Now we're going to start on producing our graph. One question you might have is if you pause this halfway through and if you've done your averages and at some later stage you want to add more lines to add more years in. The easiest way to do that is select here on the rows, drag down, click your right mouse button and put insert, and that adds in some extra space where you can again build another year. You'll have to update your formulas, put another column there and just add in the total cell from the subsequent years as you go through. But for now, we'll delete that as we try and get everything nice and tidy. So we do it the opposite way to delete it. Scroll that down the left hand side, click our right mouse hand button, click delete and have that information there. We want to do a graph of 2010 and 2011. So we select this data, we go up to the Insert tab, we go across to the Bar Graph tab and selecting a 2D column. So it's automatically generated our chart, but unfortunately grouped the years for comparison 1-to-1 when really we want to be comparing January's rainfall from 2010 to January in 2011. So we choose this select switch row column button and change that over, and now we can see there's 12 lines or 12 areas there for 12 months of the year. Now just to manipulate this a little bit more easily, we're going to move the chart location. We select the chart by pressing our left mouse button down, go up to Move Chart, choose to make it a new sheet and give it a name. And we're going to call this one Rainfall 2010 to 2011. And the reason we give it a unique name is you might develop 6 or 7 charts analysing your rainfall, and you just want to make sure it's easy for you to actually find out which one it is. So we're now on this tab. We can switch back to our Data Entry tab by clicking on that, or back here to the chart. We can double click on Chart Title, delete that text, and type in rainfall for pines. We go up to Home, where our formatting functionality is. Change that font to bold. We might have to select it first. And increase the font size. And you'll see how the rest of the chart actually adjusts. We can look at that and it might give us an opportunity to identify another error. Did we get 550 mils in the 4th month of 2011? No. Let's go back and tidy that up. Oh, it might have been 54 mils. Now we can see our totals have adjusted and our averages adjust, and just shrink this back up again, otherwise it changes how our graph appears, and we can see how that adjusts and the axis adjusts automatically. So it's quite a clever function there. Now the other thing we want to change is we want to change these 1 to 12 to January to December. We could have included it in our initial graph area to start with, but we can go back and do it now. We go to Design, we go to select data, and we see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the area, that horizontal axis we want to change. We can edit that. And it's asking us, where is this information? Click on the little red dot, go to sheet 2, where this information is, and scroll along there, and press enter, and press OK, and press OK again. We'll go into that select data column again. If you decide you only want to graph 1 year, you can take that off. And now we've only got the rainfall for 2010 in our graph. You can change the colours of your graph by choosing something else here. And you can also change the chart type. Just be aware of the general data conventions though for presentation of information and what's suitable for different types of information. So we could do a pie chart of this, but conventionally it's not the way that you actually display rainfall data. We like to use a pie chart for parts of a whole. So if you're looking at your expense profile, for example, this would be great, and you could see that this was your fertilizer cost versus your electricity cost versus your interest cost. A pie chart shows parts of a whole. However, if we're looking at this sort of information like rainfall and we're looking at something stretching out across a year, a column's good. Sometimes a line graph is okay, but it also gives us the impression that the data has changed from one month to the other and slowly dropped over a period of time. But we're actually just recording discrete periods, so that information is a little bit deceptive as well. It's a better way perhaps to describe an average over time of rainfall if you're looking at graphing a particular trend. So just be aware of that when you're graphing your information, but by all means have a bit of a play around to see what you think looks best for the information that you're trying to display. Always put a heading in and make sure your axes are labelled or they're easily understood by the person looking at your graph. So that's it for our week 1 of this course. If you like, you can add some more information in and build a few more graphs. So a suggestion might be comparing your rainfall for 1 year to the average, and to do that you would just select that information. If you wanted to select, after you had 10 or 15 years, look at graphing your total rainfall, you could do that by selecting this column here and then using this column here as your axis range. So there's lots of flexibility there to build some additional charts and have them saved in there. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you next week.